let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're breaking down a genuinely fascinating development in the PropTech space. It's called Kemedar. Now, if you follow real estate tech at all, you already know that buying and selling properties, well, it can often be slow, totally fragmented, and honestly, deeply frustrating. But today we're looking at a fully integrated, end-to-end property auction system that is literally aiming to flip how real estate transactions happen completely on their head.
So think about this for a second. What if buying a home was as thrilling as a live auction, but as secure as a bank vault? I mean, the traditional real estate process, it's incredibly opaque. You make an offer, you wait around in the dark, and you just kind of hope for the best. Kemedar is designed to totally replace that uncertainty with a dynamic, transparent, live bidding arena. But, and here's the kicker, one that's entirely backed by a locked-down legal and financial framework, so you can bid with absolute confidence.
Now, to really understand how they pull this whole thing off, we have to look at the larger ecosystem that's powering it. Because Kemedar isn't just some standalone, generic auction website, right? It's the region's #1 prop tech super app. And that matters a lot. Kemedar Bids sits right inside this massive ecosystem that covers everything: real estate listings, home services, building materials, and crucially, its very own escrow and legal pipelines. That deep, interconnected web is exactly what cuts out the friction and makes this highly secure transaction model even possible.
And quietly working behind the scenes, doing the heavy lifting, is ThinkDar AI. This is actually the first AI model built exclusively for real estate in the MENA region. Before a property auction even goes live, ThinkDar steps in acting like a digital compliance officer. It literally reviews the incoming auction listings and assesses risk levels by checking for things like, wildly unrealistic pricing or suspicious timing. It's a smart filter that ensures a high-quality, trustworthy platform from literally day one.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We just covered the welcome to the Kemedar ecosystem. Next, we'll hit the seller's journey, then jump into the buyer's journey, experience the live auction thrill, and finally, unpack those secure legal transfers. So let's move right along to Section 2, the seller's journey, and how they're listing with confidence. For the seller, the experience is this really clean, streamlined 6-step path. First, you list your property with a hidden reserve. Then the platform's AI verifies it. You put down a small deposit to activate the auction. And then comes the fun part. You get to just sit back, grab a coffee, and watch the live dashboard heat up as the bids roll in. You receive your winning buyer, and finally, the escrow securely pays you out once the legal title is transferred. Honestly, it completely modernizes how you take a property to market. But here is the absolute crucial mechanism for sellers, the 0.5% deposit. To actually activate an approved auction, the seller has to pay a refundable deposit equal to 0.5% of their starting price. It is a brilliant psychological and financial filter. It guarantees that everyone on the platform has real skin in the game. This financial commitment proves the seller is dead serious, not just, casually testing the waters. And don't worry, it is fully returned upon a successful sale. You only forfeit it if you suddenly decide to pull your listing after it's already gone live.
All right, let's flip the perspective now and look at Section 3, the buyer's journey, bidding to win.
So the buyer's path closely mirrors the seller's, but with one massive differentiator right at Step 2, mandatory KYC identity verification and a 1% deposit barrier. You cannot simply lurk around and place phantom bids here. No way. That 1% barrier ensures you are only ever competing against serious verified buyers. Once you're cleared, you place your bids, stay alert to any last-minute time extensions, pay within a really strict 48-hour window if you win, and then proceed directly to the legal transfer. It completely protects the integrity of the whole auction. Which brings us right into Section 4, the live auction thrill, where competition meets tech. When setting the rules of the game, sellers actually get to choose from 4 distinct auction types. Open means all bids are totally visible to everyone, creating maximum excitement. Then there's reserve, which is the most common. It includes a hidden minimum price the seller will accept, and the property only sells if that specific threshold is hit. Sealed means bidders submit their best offer blindly, without seeing any of the competition, and the winner is a total surprise revealed at the very end. And finally, absolute auctions. These have zero reserve. The property sells to the highest bid regardless of price, creating just massive urgency. Now, what really injects fairness into all this thrill is the anti-sniping extension feature. I mean, if you've ever had an online win stolen from you at the very last second, you know the immense frustration. Kemedar Bid eliminates that entirely. If a bid is placed in the final minutes of an auction, the system automatically adds time, usually about 5 minutes, right back onto the countdown clock.
It keeps the competition fierce, for sure, but fair, giving everyone an equal chance to counter.
So during those frantic final minutes, how exactly do you bid? Well, you can manually punch in your numbers, or you can rely on the highly strategic Auto Max Bid setup. With the Auto Bid, you just set your hidden maximum ceiling, and the system does all the heavy lifting for you. It automatically outbids your competitors by the minimum increment, keeping you right in the lead until your absolute maximum budget is hit. It's honestly a fantastic tool for staying disciplined while still aggressively going after a property.
But what happens the exact moment the digital hammer actually falls? Let's move to Section 5, Secure Legal Transfers, the Escrow Vault. For the winner, the absolute most critical number to remember is 48. You have exactly 48 hours to complete the payment of your remaining balance. If you fail to do so, your 1% security deposit is immediately forfeited, with half of it going directly to compensate the seller. This strict deadline ensures that winning a Kemedar auction means a real, tangible transaction is about to occur. It completely cuts out the time wasters. And when those massive funds are finally sent, they do not go straight to some personal bank account. No, they go directly into a 100% protected Exceed wallet escrow. The funds are locked securely in this digital vault. The seller only receives the payout when the official title deed is legally and physically transferred into the buyer's name. It completely eliminates the financial risk for both parties. I mean, it literally answers the biggest fear people have in real estate. So the post-win reality is completely immutable. Once the payment is secured in escrow, a verified Kemework lawyer actually takes over. They draft the documents, both parties sign, the title transfers officially at the local real estate registry, and only then do the funds release to the seller. The whole thing concludes with the physical handover of the keys. You see, the technology facilitates the thrill, but real, human legal expertise secures the transfer. Which leaves us with one final question for you. Are you ready to bid smart and win real on your next property? Because that is the ultimate Kemedar's bid promise. By replacing those opaque, painfully slow traditional methods with a transparent, highly secure, and thrilling technological ecosystem, they are genuinely pushing real estate transactions into the future. It is such a fascinating model, bringing the excitement of the auction house straight to your device, but wrapped in bank-grade security. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you a much clearer picture of how modern property auctions are being engineered today.